Hey, good afternoon or good evening in some places. Hi, thank you for coming back to my cooking channel. Today I wanted to share a really good recipe with you on how I do jerk chicken. I'm a little bit over the top with things. So many different ways you can prepare curry chicken, but I'm going to show you my way. So I'm going to get all my ingredients together and then I'll come back and show you exactly what I'm doing. But I did go ahead and take the liberty to cut up my chicken, clean my chicken. How I clean my chicken, I clean it with vinegar and water, and then I let it set for about 15 minutes. Then I pour that off, rinse it really good, pour it off that again, and then I fill it up again with cold water, and I cut up a couple of limes. And so then I'll let that set for a few more minutes, and then while that's doing it, I pick off all the fat and the skin that I don't want on there to prepare myself to get it cut up. And then I go ahead and cut up into bite-sized, no, well, it's not even bite-sized pieces, but I did chicken legs and chicken thighs. I cut up the thighs in about 3 or 4 pieces, and I cut the chicken legs in half. So, and then I remove most of the skin and just about all of the fat. That's how I clean my chicken. One day I'll actually show you how I do it so that you can actually see that process. But today I've already cleaned the chicken. I've already cut it up. I've also cut up all my veggies. So I'm getting my spices and everything else together. I'm going to come back and show you exactly what I'm going to put in this. And then the only thing I'm not going to put in it today, because I'm not preparing this chicken today, but I am seasoning it for me to cook it in the next day or two. But the only thing that I'm not going to put in here is the curry powder itself, because you only put that in when you get ready to cook it. If you put it in too soon, it'll turn bitter. So I'll put all my other spices in here so it can start marinating over a couple of days, and then we'll come back when I get ready to start cooking it. But today I'm just seasoning my chicken to put back in the refrigerator, so I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, first thing I want to do is show you what I'm putting here. So I have orange bell pepper, red bell pepper, I have tomatoes, and I have a yellow onion. I also have some cut up ginger and about 10 cloves of garlic here. Then I have 2 Scotch bonnets, one I cut up and one I stayed whole. I have ginger powder. I have a little bit of ginger paste. I have Goya. I have some Caribbean chicken seasoning. I'll put a little bit of this stuff, all of this stuff is just a little bit in here. I have some Sazon all-purpose. I have onion powder. I have garlic powder. I have paprika. Some black pepper. Some complete seasoning, some parsley flakes, and I have some Sazon. I like the color this tropical Sazon gives the chicken. I also have some cloves. I'll put a few cloves in there. And I have some cut up, well actually, I have already taken some whole pimentos and I grind them up. I don't like to leave them whole, because I don't like to bite into a whole piece of pimento. So I've already ground some up. So I'll use about a teaspoon of this. Okay, I'll be right back and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. So here's my clean cut up chicken. To that chicken, I have about 10 cloves of garlic and about a thumb, maybe a little bit more of a thumb of cut up fresh ginger. So I'm going to put that in there. I love garlic, so you'll see me, as you see me cooking, anytime it calls for garlic, I'm going to have some garlic in there. You're going to know garlic is in there. Here's my Scotch bonnet pepper. One is already cut up. Smells good. It smells like it's pretty hot. So I only cut up one, and then I'll leave this one whole. Here is my tomatoes, my red pepper, orange pepper, a half of this onion. It was pretty big, so I'm using this towards the end. I'll cut up some onion and lay it on top once the chicken is just about done. I'm also going to be adding some carrots during the cooking process. I'm not going to put it in here now because it doesn't need to, it's not going to flavor the chicken well. So here is my veggies. And my hands are clean, and I'm cooking for my family, so I'm not going to be wearing gloves, but my hands are clean. And so I want to make sure that I get this mixed in here real nicely, because my chicken is going to set for until Sunday. Today is Friday, and so on Sunday I will be preparing this for my Sunday dinner. And so I thought, yeah, let me go ahead and get this seasoned really well so it can start marinating overnight. Okay, so let's start with some black pepper. And I hope all of my containers are open. Okay, good. This one is. Okay, so we're going to be using probably, let's say, a tablespoon and a half. Here is my ground up whole pimento. Let's say about a teaspoon of this. Maybe not that much, but let's see. Maybe a half a teaspoon. Few cloves, about that many. Oh, and I do have 2 chicken bouillon cubes that I'm going to add in here as well. I may just add them in during the cooking process. Here's a little bit of ground ginger. Put a little bit in that, maybe a half a teaspoon of that. I don't need much garlic powder, but I'm going to use it in here. I think it's just out of habit. Maybe a tablespoon of that. My paprika, let's do about, I'm feeling kind of weak today or something. I can't open up nothing. Let's do about a tablespoon of paprika. Remember, curry seasons your food very well. So I don't need a lot of different, a lot of the spices I'm going to put on there, just lightly. This is the complete seasoning. Maybe about a tablespoon of that. These are parsley flakes. Probably did about a 1/4 cup of that. I have some chicken season because I'm not going to use salt. So the salt is already in here. So we'll use some of this. Curry powder already has a little bit of sodium in there, so I don't need much of that. The all-purpose Sazon, let's just put a little bit of that in there. This is probably about a teaspoon. A little bit of onion powder. Onion powder and garlic powder, you can use as much as you want because there's no sodium in there. Put a little Goya. I'm not going to put much of that because it does have sodium in there. So that was about a teaspoon. And tropical Sazon, this is going to give me the chicken a nice pretty color. And you don't want to use a lot of that because that also has sodium. So we have to be careful with that. Let me use a little ginger paste. Anybody knows me knows I love using ginger paste and garlic paste, but I use so much garlic today. Okay, that's enough. This is going to give me a real nice tropical flavor. I'm going to use some of my fresh dry thyme in here. I also grind up. After a while, if I have too much of the dry thyme, what I do is I put it in my grinder and I grind it up into a powder. I had a whole plastic, a gallon freezer bag of thyme that I had purchased in bulk like I always do, and I washed it and dried it out, and then I ground it up. So let's a little bit of that in there too. Okay. And that's my thyme. And I think that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up. Mix this up well. And then we're going to plop this in the refrigerator. And we're going to leave it there for a couple of days. When I come back to you guys, I'll be ready to actually start cooking this. And it's ready to now go in the refrigerator. Okay, and this is how that looks. Already. Go into refrigerator. I have a nice tight lid I'll put on it. Okay, and I will see you back on Sunday in 2 days. I'll probably do a video before then on something else, but I'll be back on Sunday to cook this fantastic dish for you. You'll be able to see how much curry I use, how I brown my chicken first, you know, so you'll be able to see my whole cooking process on Sunday. So until then, I'll be back. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, click the notification button, and make a comment. Tell me if there's something that you'd like to see me cook in particular, and I'll make sure that I have that on the agenda. Okay, thank you so much. You have a great day. Bye. Okay, this is the next day. You see me started yesterday with seasoning the curry chicken. I don't have the curry in there yet. I'm going to burn some curry in here, and I'm going to add some curry powder here before I actually start cooking it. I'm going to be cooking this in some coconut oil. This is an organic virgin coconut oil. And so I'm going to just add a little bit to the pan. Not a lot. Just about this much. I'm going to turn this on high just for now. Just so that I can burn some curry. Once that heats up, then I'm going to start putting these pieces of the chicken into the burnt curry. And I'm using this type of curry and to burn. And I'm going to use this one inside of my chicken. I'm going to be adding some now. So let me go ahead and do that while I'm waiting for the oil to mix up. This is about maybe about 7 pounds of chicken. So I'll show you how much I'm going to use because I am going to burn some as well. And these are like heaping tablespoons. So I have 3 heaping tablespoons of curry powder in there, and I'm going to mix it up. And if you remember yesterday, the veggies that I put in here, red peppers, orange peppers, onion, scallion, tomatoes, and garlic. And I also have ginger in here. Remember, I sliced up the ginger real fine, and the garlic really fine. So that's all in here. I'm not gonna, as I put the chicken in, I'm gonna take the onion and whatever vegetable that's on here off. Okay, so this is about ready. Let me go ahead and put my curry in this and burn this curry real quick. That's about enough. That was about 2 tablespoons. A little bit more. It's about a 1/2 tablespoon. Most people burn the curry because they don't like to cook it, just cook it raw. I mean, cook it right into the meat because they say it make your stomach hurt, but it's never made my stomach hurt. But I just have a habit of doing this because this is how I was taught by my husband's mother. It's always to cook my curry first. So now I'm going to go ahead and start putting in the pieces of chicken. And these are legs cut in half and thighs cut in about 3 pieces. I'm going to put mostly all this chicken in here, but I'm going to start off putting in a little bit, kind of making sure it gets coated with the curry. So this actually was in the refrigerator more than 24 hours. And for this much chicken, you want to definitely make sure you have a big enough pot. So this is not my largest pot, but this was enough for this. I'm going to also be adding in some carrots, some diced carrots, once this is on its way of cooking. They're diced rather small, so I don't want to put them in too soon. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and let this hang out and do its thing. I'm going to cover this with the lid for a little while, and then when I come back, you'll see me starting to add the liquid to it. So the chicken is starting to make its own juice. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this stuff in. Put all this stuff in. And then I'm going to add some liquid. Put a bit of liquid. Not much. Because remember, your chicken is going to make a lot of liquid. So I don't want it to have a lot of liquid in here. Once it's done, you're like, what am I doing with all that liquid if you have too much? I don't want to bust this pepper open. So you have to be careful when you put those peppers in. I already have one cut up in here, so it's making its own liquid rather nicely. And so I'm going to add some this water is already hot. As you can hear, it's still cooking even though I added water because the water was hot. Add a little bit more, and that'll be probably enough. If I need to add some more later, I will when I add the carrots. So now we're at the mark now. It's cooking very nicely. It's not done, but it's cooking nicely. So this is the point where I'm going to go ahead and add my carrots. And these were fresh carrots. What I do is when I buy vegetables in bulk, I'm not going to leave them in my refrigerator for them to go bad. So what I do is I cut them up and I freeze them. See that? Cut them up and freeze them. And that way you can save yourself some money. I think I may do a video on how to preserve vegetables when you buy them in bulk. Because, you know, a lot of people, even people that I know, tend to throw away vegetables. Tomatoes, peppers, green peppers, and all that kind of stuff. You leave them in your refrigerator too long, and then they start wilting or going bad. You don't have to do that. You can buy them in bulk. You can cut them up however you want to cut them, bag them in a freezer bag, and put them in your deep freezer. And then when you need celery, or you need scallions, or you need onion or carrots or peppers, you just go bring out the bag. That's helping you with prepping your meals too, because it makes cooking time a lot less. So I don't have to stand here and cut up carrots. They're already cut up for me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let this cook. I'm going to lower the temperature on this to probably medium low. I don't want my chicken falling, you know, shredding. So I want it cooked, but thoroughly, but I don't want it to cook too hard. So I'm just going to leave the cover off the lid like that until the chicken is actually done. Now, I would normally put potatoes in here as well. My husband doesn't want any potatoes in there, so we're not going to do that. Welcome back. I think we're all done here. The chicken is looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because it's done. And then I am going to dish some up, and I have a taste tester here who's going to taste it for us. There you go. Also, if you like fufu, you can have you some fufu with this as well. A lot of Jamaicans now are starting to eat fufu. You know, we're taking it all the way back to the motherland. So I like fufu. I like pounded yam, which is a form of fufu, but I like the pounded yam, and that goes really well with this as well. If you don't want rice and you want something different, you can always put this with some pounded yam, and that would be really, really good. Okay, I hope you like this video, and if you find this content useful to you and you know that you can enjoy making this recipe yourself, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like it, send me a comment, let me know what you think about it. Also, if there's anything you'd like to see me cook, go ahead and share that with me in your comment section, and then I'll make sure that I'll reply to you and let you know when I'm going to cook that dish for you. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. You have a wonderful, blessed day. Okay, we're back for a few seconds. Here's my niece taste testing the curry chicken. So good.
Carrots are so tender and sweet. The chicken is tender. Lots of flavor.
Okay, so you heard it firsthand. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye.